collective in-depth government policy guidelines for infrastructure and resource management does not exist for the sustainable development of wilderness resources. Meetings regarding the central Newfoundland wilderness continues to create a series of stakeholder and departmental conflict discussions because collective policy guidelines do not exist. Environmental assessment of the caribou migration over the central Newfoundland wilderness must start with an understanding of the impact of all economic activity over the past 125 years. Before weather patterns changed, influenced by global warming, the Beothuk made a winter trek to the central Newfoundland wilderness for venison and fur. The Great Lake, as they called it, lay in the path of the migrating caribou as they traveled from the Bay Verte and northern peninsulas to the south coast. Their encampment locations are evidence of the dominant caribou migration routes around the lake at that time. Here the starting point is this 1768 map of the lake showing the lake level and dominant routes at the time when Beothuk encampments were at strategic points. The first caribou route to be abandoned was across a narrow section of the lake, which was abandoned after the construction of Exploits Dam by the A&D Company in 1925, which raised the lake level over 5 meters. Before the Bay d'Espoir hydro development, this route existed, and in their time the Beothuk had lookouts on the north ridge near Otter Pond and on the south ridge near the end of Red Indian Lake. There are a series of passable notches in the Lloyds River Valley south escarpment, which need to be surveyed along the shoreline. Caribou have been observed at one location, which was a logging road and landing used by Abitibi for logging, which now has registered cabin ownership and is a migrating route for which the extent needs to be verified. Mining explorations threaten to make this another obstacle course, as the collective economic activities have done over the past few decades. The Boulder Brook route needs to be protected from all threats, as this is the last navigatable notch through the Annie-Hopscotch Mountain escarpment, because from there to the Virgil Highway, most of the mountain ridge is impassable by migrating caribou. This caribou migration analysis reflects the long-term impact of economic activity without collective government departmental planning policy to build and maintain a viable infrastructure for environmental protection of the landscape and all creatures, seen and unseen, who inhabit Beothuk country. Objectives need to be defined of detailed environmental assessment requirements for economic development projects before investment influences the decision-making process, as all cooperative partners have a stake in protecting the future, starting now.